First nun, third hey, cal. So what do the first nun, third hey verbs look like in the cal? We're going to look at nata, as I said in the last module. This means to extend or to stretch out, and there's our nun, and there's our hey, first nun, third hey. And in the perfect, what we find is that they look just like third heys. See? Nata, gala. And the reason is because first nun, over here, they're basically strong. First nun is strong in the perfect. Nagash, pakad. So first nun at the beginning in the perfect isn't really a problem, so it doesn't cause a problem here either. So basically it's like first nun, third hey are just like third heys in the perfect. Now what happens as we move down into the imperfect? We see here yete. Well, we have the hitic prefix vowel, just as we do in third hey and first nun and the strong ones, okay? We have our tate with a dagesh in it. Okay, this is, of course, our, let me write this out in big here. Nun, tate, hey. So our dagesh here is our assimilated nun, right? Just like we have here, nagash, there's our assimilated nun there. Dagesh forte. And we have segol hey, just like we do for third heys in the imperfect. So it's got combined features of both of these. And likewise here, again, we see the prefix hitic, just like all the rest here. We see the assimilated nun as a dagesh, and we see segol hey, just like the third heys. Now down here, this is the vocalic form, or one of the vocalic forms. And for third heys, when you have vocalic forms, this is rule number 2, you drop the hey, right? So we have no hey, and we do assimilate the nun. So all we're left here is with just the tate. See, all we have left here is just this. Not much to go on. Over here, we at least had the hey, which we had here. But in the form we have vocalic suffixes, the hey drops, and the nun assimilates, and so you're just left with one letter. And when you move into the preterite and jussive, you have the same deal. The hey drops, and you want to assimilate the nun, but you can't because you can't put a dagesh forte in the last letter of a word. You can't have it at the end of a word, and so it doesn't even have the dagesh forte. As a result, because you can't double, you get compensatory lengthening. So the hitic that we have here and here lengthens to tsere, so that makes sense. You go from a short I or short I vowel to a long I vowel. And the same here. You can't double either of these because the hey is dropped and leaves this by itself at the very end. You can't have dagesh forte at the end of the word. Here the hey drops, but you still have something. You have the vocalic suffix, so you can still have your dagesh forte. So these are even more naked. Here at least you've got one letter, but you can sort of see that, okay, you got a dagesh forte, maybe it came from a nun. These forms, you really just have the one letter left. And then as we move down here, nete, gele. So it's really just like the third hey. And neti, geli, netot, gelot. So these ones are really just like the third hey. It doesn't follow, say, geshet. Geshet's a very unique first nun infinitive construct. This one's fairly similar. And this one's fairly similar as well. The only thing is we have dropped the nun here. Here the nun does not drop. It stays there. It behaves just like third heys. So the important thing to know here really is these forms. Or just be aware you can get at least 3 forms. And I'll show you them again in the last, or one of the later modules here. We'll look at forms that have only one letter left. Here are 3 of them in nata. What did I want to say here? Well, perfect, just like 3 hey. This is a review now again. So the perfect is just like the 3 hey. And other forms, all I'm saying here is the dagesh, this is dagesh forte, drops in apocryphated forms. And I'm talking about this down here. So if you have an apocryphated form, the hey is gone, you have nothing left. If you want a dagesh forte in there, you can't do it because it's the end of a word. And so you end up with just the middle radical all by itself. Okay, so that is cal for first and third hey, and next we'll look at the hiphil.